That's right.
おうちの自慢の息子楽しんでんだよ親父なりに
Gratifying feeling that comes with being one with yourself and others, authentically, without shame and judgment, is such a full, wholesome feeling. Hello friends, my name is Benoit Kim, a UPenn educated licensed psychotherapist and your favorite yapper. Welcome back to my detailed psychological analysis of Horimiya episode 13, Tis the season finale. I am going to miss this show dearly because I knew each episode was guaranteed wholesomeness without losing that flair of realism, the beauty of youth and romance. Remember, you matter, you're worthy, and what a journey it has been with Horimiya. Amazing, amazing show. Shout out to the yappers. Sit back and I hope you enjoy.
卒業式もうすぐだよ。だね。ユキ。
I think Hori would have been equally nervous with anticipatory stress and anticipatory grief, grieving about the loss of familiarity, loss of the same setup, because they'll be transitioning or graduating from high school to college, just like Yuki. But Hori's not feeling that way. He's not grieving or stressed out because of that snowy night confession with Izumi. Will you marry me? Bah! What? But because of that, Hori is not as visibly stressed out or nervous as Yuki is, because there is that little bit more certainty and there is that profession of commitment and love. So very, very happy for Hori. And we'll see when Yuki and Toru will actually start dating versus this weird limbo status quo that they're doing. What the? What is that?
手伝うからいるものこっちに持ってきて。うん。溜め込んだプリント類は捨てるのよ。うん。なんか
Hori's the group's mom. And I think also psychologically, I don't know if Yuki's doing this consciously or subconsciously. Regardless, I think Yuki's action, her behaviors of not bringing things home, keeping all her papers, homework, textbook, whatever, just shoving deep into that locker room is her extension of her avoidance. I think for her, it's like if I start to take all the schoolwork and all these things back home, it's solidifying. It becomes too real that, oh my gosh, high school's finished. We'll be entering entrance exam and college, a brand new chapter. I may not hang out with the same people anymore. Who knows where all my best friends, Toru, Izumi, Hori, anyone in between will end up. That's why for her, again, either consciously or subconsciously, she's choosing to leave all the stuff as they are, as intact, the status quo, aka through this proxy, through this representations of locker. But of course, through Hori's help, Yuki's like, okay, let's do it. But you guys see that? She's like, hey, if I don't touch my locker, then nothing's changing. Then I can maybe avoid and deny the reality that's to come.
石川君、荷物が尋常じゃないね。お前もな。
だらしない。ってないからよ。
Yo, they're all the same. Maybe I'm just overanalyzing as usual. They're just procrastinators.
堀さん手空いてる？
は？
堀。
あんたたちね。だって堀力あるじゃん。
堀さん、そんなに私物。でしょう。俺ちゃんと少しずつ持ち帰ってたからね。やめて堀さん。
Yo, that stare of judgments. Hori is judging them hard. It's like, really, Toru? Really, Izumi?
その面やめて。
やめて。
この CD 俺も持ってる。え、じゃあユーラ君に返し忘れてたやつかも。ごめん。身軽だったさっきまでの俺。グッバイ。ごめん。 いいよ。
それでも多いわね、ユキの荷物。
力ある人で昇降口まで。
See, I guess back to my over-analysis. Maybe my over-analysis stands based on her psyche, Yuki's subconscious actions. Even compared to everyone else who are procrastinating, Yuki has extra stuff. Again, her avoidance of the dooming reality of this change. And I get it, no judgment. Change is hard. For better or worse, good, positive or negative changes, regardless, change is hard. Like I talked about in last episode, change demands tremendous emotional energy, psychological energy, energy expenditure to prepare ourselves for this change of paradigm, for again, the loss of what's known to us, loss of familiarity. And familiarity means safety. That's why we humans gravitate towards pattern recognition. Because if we can recognize a pattern, which implies familiarity, which suggests safety, I feel safe because I know what to expect. Because expectations, pattern recognition. But of course, as we know, pattern recognition is a heuristics. It's a mental model shortcut to preserve our cognitive energies and our energy expenditure. It's an evolutionary trait, evolutionary behavior for us to seek patterns to conserve our energy. Because of heuristics, definition right here, because of heuristics, because of this shortcut, it's not perfect, it is flawed. Pattern recognitions turns out to be wrong all the time. Just because of the pattern of the past does not necessarily mean we can predict pattern of the future, because there is no such thing as guarantee from the future.
で手伝おうか。俺と石川と堀さん。だって
堀さんは頼りがいがあるってことを井浦君は言いたかったんだと思う。
Hori was already at the tipping point and he just tipped Hori a little bit too far. Look at this rage that Hori's trying to contain herself. Her veins are literally popping off her veins. All right, so like I said last week's episode, because of the season finale, I'll be analyzing the opening sequence, which I've been skipping throughout. And I know there's also the closing sequence and some after credits, so I'll also be analyzing that. Oh, nice music. Oh, that clock on the desk, obviously student desk, which symbolizes their student high school status. And why is there a clock? Because this fleeting of time. Every episode is comprised of multiple seasons, many days, even weeks. So clock symbolizes that fleeting of time, fleeting of youth. It's one thing that we will never get back. No matter we're rich, poor, healthy, unhealthy, fill in the blank. One thing that we will never get back, we can never go back to, is time. We can never turn time backward, only forward, whether we are ready or not. Just like changes, whether we're ready or not, change is the only constant. Just like time, just like that clock. Oh, it's like bubbling, like sizzle. Hori and Izumi. School, classrooms, paper. Spring. Ah, look at the spring, because spring is usually a representation and symbolism. It symbolizes youth, like spring, refreshing, hope, endless possibilities. This is Izumi before he met Hori and all the core group, like, you know, Toru, Yuki, and everyone else, like the student council presidents, anyone in between. That's why he has flat affect. He looks very dead inside. No emotions, not even frowning, just truly indifferent. That's a depiction of his clinical depression. And obviously we know through the reveal that Izumi indeed struggled with suicidality because of bullying, social isolation, and not fitting in and all that. So this is the pre-evolved, pre-progressed Izumi with his eyes. Oh, I love this background music. Yep, Izumi by himself on the staircase. And now he meets his core group. Is that Hori? Wow, seasonality, even the editing, the seasons, right? Autumn, winter, there are no leaves on the trees. Like, I think seasonality of life and seasonality of our emotions, seasonality of our youth, seasonalities of our just lives, our livelihood is definitely a big, big theme of this series. And we can see that through that edit, through that sequence. All the characters, Izumi by himself. Yep. Feeling lonely, isolated. We saw that Izumi's hand was reaching for something and then someone else's hand reached out. It doesn't matter who that hand was. Maybe it's Shindo's hands, because Shindo's the one that reached out to Izumi in middle school or in high school, Hori or Toru. Doesn't matter. The point is, someone reached out to Izumi that he is no longer lonely. He's no longer stuck, feeling disconnected, isolated in his darkness, utterly by himself, but rather meaningful social connections happens. That's what the edit means. Two hands reaching for that cube. Ah, youth. Ooh, golden hour. Nice. The final episode, season finale's title is called I Would Gift You the Sky. Ooh, is this about Sakura? Is this about Toru? Because, and Yuki, because Yuki falls from the sky? But I don't think so, because it's summer break, right? So winter's over. We'll see.
レミ捨てるゴミまとまあまた脱線してる。動物園
Gotta plan vacations.
さくらは見たくない？大量のキリン。
見たいけど
戦国くんも柳も行きたいでしょ？動物園。
どこ？前行ったところ？ありがけになるぞ。車いりますね。あと宿な。
車と宿があれば可能。
二人とも甘やかさないで現実的じゃないことに
Man, they were talking about the barriers to her aspirations of going to the zoo. Man, it's far away. It's a 2-day trip. We need a car and a hotel. I think they said that to discourage Remy, but she's like, oh my gosh, that means there's hope. As long as we find those solutions, we're good.
母。でも
Sakura the
車
mom.
か。車いいな。行動範囲広がるし。
Oh yeah, nice. Oh.
どこでも行けるぞ。
Oh.
そうだね。
もしかして動物園に行きたいわけじゃないんじゃないですか。
Oh, reading between the line.
買ってこよう。
Oh.
待ってレミ何か悩んでるなら教えて
Look at that interception. Wow. Shout out to Yanagi for reading between the lines. There's something underlying. It's not really about the zoo, but maybe just spending one last spending one last long trip together with your core friends. Because this anticipatory grieving about what to come, it's not only unique to Yuki and Hori and Izumi for that matter. Everyone in high school is feeling this massive unknown. Where will everyone end up? Will I ever see them again? Will we be able to maintain this amazing closeness and friendship with each other? Because we're all going to college and all that. I think that's what Remy wants. It's not the zoo. It's not the destination. Journey before the destination. It's all about, hey, can we spend one last summer together, like a final hurrah? Because you guys are everything. You guys mean everything to me.
言ってくれなきゃわかんないわ
True?
戦国くんレミを抑えて
Grab her.
何でも話して
Is this integration?
相談してくれなかったらこの柳くんに見てもらうかも
河野さん。やるがいいさ。早さ。いつも3人でやってることですか。
Yo, Yanagi's like, this is not what I intended. I just wanted to read between the lines and maybe spotlight the underlying emotion, the sentiment, the real reason behind this trip, this request. But then obviously Sakura and Remy, they're best friends. So they're going whatever this torture method to interrogate. What are you trying to say, Remy? Just spill the beans.
無理に聞き出さずとも。方が。存分に見てやってくれ。めったにないから。
Yo.
大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫。気持ちよかった。
気持ちいいよ。
本当に悩みとかじゃなくてね。
Just say it, Remy.
なんか高校生のうちにみんなでもっと遊びに行きたかったな。
Exactly.
でもさっき柳が免許って言った時、 免許取ったらどこか遠くに行っちゃうのかなって思っちゃった。
Aww.
普通に日常生活で使うだけですよ。
そっか。
Yo, everyone else is like, Remy, what kind of a cognitive leap did you just do in your mind? You know, like sometimes we're talking about the same thing, but with our internal landscape, internal thought process, some people make massive leap, like 4, 5, 6, 7 things ahead. The Prez was talking about, hey, once I get a license, Remy, I can take you to zoo and anywhere you want. It's going to be amazing, so convenient. But Remy was thinking because of her anxiety, her anticipatory stress and anticipatory grief, she's like, oh no, if my boyfriend gets a driver license, he could use that to go get further and further away. Not necessarily physically through this transportation, but rather, again, the pending change, going to college far, far away. This is what Remy's feeling sad about. That's why as soon as the press talked about the license, she's like, let me go grab a drink. She wanted to use distractions and she wanted to avoid. Because even talking about this pending reality, pending change is too stressful. I really feel for Remy and everyone else.
だから別に動物園じゃなくてもいいんだけど。
そんな不安にならなくてもみんなずっと友達よ。
本当？卒業した途端他人の顔しない？
しないよ。そっちの方が難しくない？
ドライブ。免許取ったらみんなでドライブ行きませんか？
Aww.
いいな。
I guess Yanagi's the one closest to getting his license compared to everyone else. And then I guess Remy's like, whew, as long as it's not my boyfriend, the press that gets the license. Yanagi, you could get license all you want. You can get away from me as far as you want. Obviously not, because they're all really, really good friends. But now I think after speaking truthfully and honestly about how we feel on the inside to the outside, so everyone's on the same page to avoid any potential miscommunication. Now, they can indulge in this wanderlust. Oh man, where can we go? Visualizing, imagining, planning logistically, and hopefully this trip happens.
海好きなんですか？
レミも海行く。泳ぐ。
Aww.
私は泳がないわよ。見たいだけ。
卒業後の予定ができましたね。
Hey, nice.
動物園も行こうね、柳。
綾崎さんは免許取らないんですか？
レミは助手席専門。
ずるいぞレミ。
戦国くん。
Oh, I'm gonna miss this show. Man, so wholesome.
堀さん。
Earth to Horisaki.
結局荷物持ち手伝ってくれたからな。
宮村。
はい。はいはい。
Miyamura, the servant at your service. She's still dozing off. Aww.
枕が欲しかっただけか。しかめっ面で寝とる。よくこの顔するよな、この人。
She's probably stressed.
堀さん、眉間にシワ寄せる癖よくないよ。よく食べ、よく動き、よく寝る。
She eats a lot, moves a lot, sleeps a lot. Izumi, are you describing your pet? Hori's not your dog or your cat, dude. But I mean,
ロイ、
you're so funny.
こんな日が続けばいい。卒業しても。
Whoa, goosebumps.
もし、ほんの些細なきっかけがなかったら。
That's true. Wow.
もしもの話だ。
卒業。
I think what Izumi's not saying, but implying is if that happenstance didn't happen, Izumi coming across Sota, maybe with that dog attack, right, that brought him home, and everything else that happens as a result, maybe I wouldn't be here. I think that's what Izumi's saying. Maybe I would have gone through with my suicidal struggle, maybe my social isolation, major depression, clinically, and all that would have been exacerbated. And that's probably right, because he's been depressed for so long. He's been struggling for so long since elementary school, middle school. Everyone except Shindo would distance himself from him, judging him prematurely without proper context. But what I do want to double click on is the power of happenstance. Another word to describe that is serendipity. But life is full of serendipitous moments. We don't get to control where life goes, which path leads to the best destination based on our limited information at the time. Because who we are changes the moment we embark on any journey. Goals, friendships, romance or otherwise. Life is full of happenstance. The one empowering messages, one empowerment I'm taking away from what Izumi just said is as long as we do not give up, keep going. No matter how big the looming dark clouds are above our heads, no matter how deep the depression is, how big the anxiety is, limiting circumstances, trauma, whatever it is. As long as we do not give up, and of course it is not easy, because when nothing's going our way, when we feel utterly lonely, of course we all want to give up. I feel that fully, truly, at the same time. With Izumi's story, with Izumi being the perfect poster child, that there is hope, renewal, just like spring. There is winter every season, but also after the winter is spring, also every season. That's guaranteed. There will eventually be a light at the end of the tunnel. As long as we don't give up, as long as we do not give up, happenstance, serendipity will happen eventually. And things will get better eventually. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing good will last forever, but also equally, nothing bad will last forever either. So let's hang in there, huh?
文集配られるの式当日だっけ。うわ、忘れてた。集合写真撮ったのだいぶ前だもんね。どんな顔して撮ったっけ。撮る時隣が全然話したことない男子。石川、帰ろうぜ。覚えてないよ。同じクラスなのに。
Oh,
ああ悪い。
ああ。うん。ねえ、今日カラオケ行かない？
妹の受験どうだった？
あ、ダメだった。
oh, I like this edit style. Is it, I don't know if it's ominous, but it feels very, there's like vibey. I don't know. I don't know how to describe this editing style right now.
ポーノさん。
生徒会室の。
ああ、掃除。
I guess cinematic. Cinematic is a word.
髪、長い方が似合ってたのに。
さくらが前に行ってたお店の。さくら？知ってる人？
知らない人。
荷物持って帰んのめんどいな。
ああ、もう。
I see. They're comparing before and after. Remember I talked about in a lot of my series, the stark contrast reveals beauty. It's the contrast between who they were, not just Izumi and Hori, but all the characters who are integral to this show, who they were before they met each other, before they created this blossoming, like Sakura, blossoming friendship, endearing closeness, interpersonal relationships. Before all this meaningful social circle, this is who they were and what they're feeling individually, right? Because we're starting with the now. Everyone's saying goodbye, bringing their things home after experiencing all their blossoming friendships and amazing, amazing relationships. So this is revealing the before and after. Makes sense.
持って帰
Great
るのめんど
writing.
くさ。
早く持って帰っとけばよかった。
They've been
こんなことなら早く持って
procrastinating
帰っとくんだったわ。
the same.
今行く。
That's cool. Cool flashbacks.
卒業まであと1週間もあるのか。
Oh, Izumi touching his ear. Remember? Because what happened in his ear, it bled after his first piercing. So every time he touches his ear, it symbolizes pain, suffering, loneliness, depression.
卒業式はもう少し暖かくなるといいな。
Yanagi!
ね
Wow.
嘘。え、
Mega hottie.
よく見てなかった。
Wow, this is really cool. I mean, truly worthy of a season finale. Just spotlighting the cumulative journey and the culminations of everything, right? Again, this is a callback and double clicking on what Izumi was saying before all this flashback and memory recall happenstance. And again, like I talked about, it just takes one decision, one thing to go right, to dramatically change the outcome of your life. At the same time, all of us, and I mean every single one of us, is one decision away from having a dramatic difference and different outcome in our life. One decision away that will change radically the projections of our life, for better or worse. In this case, for the better. Happenstance everywhere.
あれ、まだ人残ってたんか。
Wow.
なあこれ
何？
Mm.
知らない。
おいなんだよ変なやつ。
He's trying to run away from his depression and loneliness. That's the visual representation of Izumi running all by himself in this
でもなくてもいいような高校生活だったの。
just like middle school.
もしもの話。
Wow, you see? But through all that happenstance, his life changed for better.
ごめん、ぼーっとしてた。
大丈夫？ぼーっとするほど何考えてるのよ。
How far he's come.
いろんな偶然が重なって今があると思うと、一つでも欠けたら違う世界もあったのかなって。
True that. Another fun fact through the power of caffeine. I urge you guys to actually look this up. I forgot the actual exact statistics, but it's something astronomically high. Did you know that by definition and default, every single one of us, our birth, our very existence in itself is a miracle? If you look up the definition of miracle, it means an event that's statistically unlikely to happen. The improbability of that event is so high that when it occurred, it's considered as a miracle, an outlier. That's what miracle means. Do you know what are the odds, the probability of us being born today? Like just the very fact that we are sitting here recording, you guys watching. This in itself is a miracle. Because the chance of us being born is like 1 to like hundreds of like billions odds. It's like 0.00000000000 like 3% that we're born. Think about it. And like I said, feel free to look up the actual statistics because it is improbably low. Our parents had to meet at the exact same time that they had to meet, go on dates, fall in love, right? Obviously have sex to give birth to us. It doesn't stop there though. Sequentially, we have to go further. For our parents to be born, our grandparents had to meet at the exact same time, same precise moment they had to meet. Same thing, fall in love, go on dates, have sex. Our great-grandparents had to meet at the exact same time. You guys get my point, right? Every single of our lineage, our ancestors, had to meet precisely when they did. Happenstance, a split decision. Otherwise, we will not be here today. That's a fact. We will not be here. If our parents, grandparents, great-great-great-great-great-grandparents fell in love, went on a first date with someone else. If their car broke down, something else happened, right? If they got stood up, we will not be here. By definition, our birth, our existence is a miracle. That's how precious and sacred all of us are. That's why I begin every single video of mine and I end every single video of mine saying that we are worthy, we matter. If our existence can defy probability, statistics, we can defy the odds to be here today, how can we be not worthy? Of course we are worthy. Of course we matter because we are here. That is the power of happenstance, right? That's what Izumi is feeling. But of course, I'm extrapolating into a much bigger level. But like I said, either pause the video now or later, look up the odds of you being born. Seriously, look that up. It's like equivalent to being struck by a lightning while on a plane, the plane crashing, surviving a shark attack, and winning a lottery all at the same time. That's how crazy our existence is. Yet, here we are.
だとしたら、今こうして一緒にいることに運命みたいなものもあるかもしれないわ
In
ね。
a sense, it is unmei. It's unmyeong in Korean, fate. Unmei, Japanese, unmyeong in Korean, fate. It is as if it's fate.
そうかも。
Aww.
全くありえない世界ではないけれど、
Aww. Yes.
そんな今に自分はいる。
Mm-hmm.
もし君の言うところの運命なんてものがなかったとしても、世界は自分が望んだ方向へきっと少しずつ進んでくれるんだと思う。
Another helpful, empowering book because there's a lot of cynicism and, the world is politically burning down. Obviously, there's a lot of issues. But factually, the world and society is getting better over time. That is a fact. I strongly recommend this book called Factfulness by Hans Rosling, right here. Factfulness. He's a MD, right? He worked on a lot of amazingly impressive field, the UN, Security Council, right? Economic development, all that. He spent his entire life collecting statistics and all that to prove that the world factfully is getting better to combat the rising cynicism. And it is true. Of course, life is not perfect. Government is flawed. People can be selfish. But overall, society and the world is getting better and better. That is a fact. That's optimism, right? It reminds me of one of my favorite quotes. The realist might be right, but optimists change the world. With what Hans Rosling said with factfulness, let's not lose hope. Because like what Izumi said, even if fate doesn't exist, slowly and gradually, things will move towards the directions that I want. As long as we do not give up. Because when we give up, truly, there's no more hope and no more prospect of change.
続きまして、卒業生代表当時、千石翔くん。
Graduation.
はい。
Student Council President. That's my president. Oh, his hair matches the Japanese flag. Very red. Oh, dang, Izumi.
やってしまった。
Aww.
今日この日、私たち63回生は卒業の日を迎えました。
You know what's the biggest relief that could dissipate tension and seriousness? Is humor. Humor is one of the healthiest and one of the best coping mechanisms, period. Of course, Izumi sneezing, again, was happenstance. Another callback was a serendipitous event that he sneezed right before the president was about to give the commencement speech, whatever, for the graduation speech. But because of the happenstance, Izumi unintentionally created a relief for everyone. So the tension and the seriousness of graduating from high school before they have to confront this monumental change of their chapters in life, losing of their familiarity, tackling the unknown, became so much more bearable, less burdensome, emotionally and psychologically. All thanks to that happenstance. Great writing.
宮村くん君ってやつだごめんね会長これすまない石川くんしまった見失った
おいおい、卒業生。で、なんで宮村追い回してんだ？
その件についてだよ
Toru is such a guy. I love it.
後でちゃんと会長に謝らないとな。
See, but it became so much less stressful for everyone. Power of happenstance.
晴れたね。
Wow, Izumi's past.
楽しそうだね。
Wow,
髪も
goosebumps,
切って
dude.
る。ピアスもバレたよ。
Wow. He began this monologue because technically he's talking to himself that they found out on my tattoos, piercings. I have amazing friends and girlfriends. He specifically started with they found out about my piercings and tattoos. Why? To show and spotlight that he no longer needs to hide. He no longer needs to hide his self, his identity, the piercings, the tattoos, the secrets, because he found an amazing group of people that accepts him unconditionally and openly and lovingly. He no longer has to feel disconnected from himself and other people. Whatever trauma, whatever therapy, whatever we are working toward, at the end of the day, we all have one goal: journey back home to emotional safety. And through that journey to go back to emotional safety, we ultimately all want to reconnect with ourselves. And through that process, we then get to reconnect with other people. We all want to journey back home to our inner child, our inner self, our authentic true self, without judgment, without shame. That's what Izumi's depicting through this monologue, talking to his past self, who had to hide his piercings, hide his tattoos, who had to hide who he really was because he didn't fit in. He was lonely. Such a deep, deep, deep writing and show.
俺のことちゃんと見てくれたね。
Izumi's looking at the parts of himself that he felt ashamed of. He wanted to hide, keep it a secret under the shadow. But now Izumi can confront and face all of himself, the good, the bad, and the ugly, without shame, also unconditionally. That's progress.
ごめん。もう未来振りなんかしないから。
Oh, amazing. And he came out of the shadow.
おめでと
Wow.
ああ、いたいた。宮村くん、クラスで集合写真撮るって。早く戻った方が。お、どうかしたの？
う。うん。風強いなって。
The wind's so strong because it's springtime. And there's a lot of significance to that scene where the old Miyamura, when he stepped out of the shadow, literally behind that building, turned into the child, the middle school version, who I think contemplated suicide in this struggle. And he said with a smile, "Congratulations on graduating. I will disappear for you." What does that mean? That, hey, I'm happy to go away because you have finally accepted all of yourself. Everything, every essence of yourself. Even the past that you're not necessarily proud of. Even the past, the dark days, they're not necessarily ready to embrace. But now you are embracing all of yourself. We call it inner child work. All of us as adults, we have attachment wounds, scars, trauma as a child, aka through attachment. We call that inner child work in some circles because we all want to untether and heal from our attachment childhood wounds and eventually go back to who we were as inner child. Because as children, we all begin with innocence, trauma-free. That's what that dialogue represents. I will disappear for you because you've accepted all of yourself, even the shadow part, right? That's shadow self by Carl Jung, right? Definition right here, the shadow self. And we call that shadow work because we have to work through the shadow to come to the light.
1組全然集まんねえじゃねえか。
先生一緒に撮ろう。
って撮ってどうすんだよ。俺の瞬きでシャッター切ったってことでいいだろ。へい。
ふざけんな。晴れ舞台くらいしっかり撮ってくれ。お願いします。
堀先輩、もう先輩に会えないなんて寂しいです。
どうした？
たまに遊びに来ればいいし。本当ですか？たまによ。
しょうがねえな。
Not too often though. Because Hori's like, if you come too often, you're going to be a cock block for me and dear Izumi.
最後か。
Ah, so much nostalgia.
レミ探してて。
ああ、綾崎見てないけど。
そう。
Did Sakura and Toru reconcile fully?
そのごめん。その。
Aw, nice. Here's a reconciliation. The
あり
full.
がとう。
Yeah.
楽しかった。本当よ。
Aw.
私本当に楽しかったの。
Yeah. Aw. Aw.
俺も
Oh,
忘れない。
goosebumps.
さあ、よかった。
Shake it out.
ありがとう。
Oh, sayonara.
また。
またね。
Goodbye is not farewell forever, but until we meet again.
気持ちも学校に置いていくのかな。さよなら。
あ、卒業おめでとうございます。
いや、それ柳くんもだよ。おめでとう。
ありがとうござ
Oh,
い
the
ます。
writing is impressive.
あ、そうだ。吉川さんに言いたいことがあって。
何？
卒業したら みんなでどこか行きたいなって。
みんなで？
こないだ戦国くんたちと話をしてからずっと考えてたんだ。免許とか取って仲良しのみんなで。
Yeah, best buds.
と
いつも通りだ。
河野さんと。
いいね、楽しそう。
よかった。
免許は任せた。
Nice.
卒業しても何も変わらないし、変わってもいい。これからも
続いていくんだ。
That's right.
おお、うちの自慢の息子。
I feel like Hori's dad is not here for his own daughter's graduation, but for Izumi's graduation. He's like, my boy, where you at, my boy? You can tell you can tell Hori's dad really wanted to have a son. But hold up, there is a son, Sota, but I guess he's too young. So he can't have this full father, son, kind of like a para-familiar bro hangout yet? Is that why?
若い。ちょっと似てる。
どの辺が似てるの？
The hair?
女子が一緒に。楽しんでんだよ、親父なりに。
さっきまでいたけど忙しいからって帰ったよ。
You see, he's like, let me get some pictures with my child. It wasn't Hori, it was Izumi. Yo. I mean, he will be his future son-in-law.
ああ、
I'm dead.
取れたよ。井浦マジかよ。
Aww.
に来たの？
今日早く帰ってこいってお母さん言ってたじゃん。だから校舎見学兼ねて迎えに。
あ、そっかそっか。そんじゃ一緒に帰るか元。そんじゃバイバイ。
I think the little sister's eyes turned white. Her soul fled her body because obviously he's usually not like that with her at home, right? Different dynamic. Because different circles, different social context brings out a different side of us. We're not being fake. We all are multifaceted. There's many different sides to all of us. But it looks like the little sister's entrance exam went well after all that tutoring with Hori, and she got into her brother's school.
最後まで元気だな。
安心するわ。
Aww.
お兄ちゃん。
なんだ妹。
お兄ちゃんだよね。
お兄ちゃんだよ。
Different sides of him. Oh, what a
今日寿司食べに行くんだけど来る？
行く。
よっしゃー、行こう行こう。京介も喜ぼうよ。うるさいほどに。
ああ。
Aww. Yeah,
距
hold
離が
hands.
縮んだ。誰かとこんなに距離が縮んだのは
Aww.
初めてだよ。
I've never been this close to anyone before. That's double layers. One, interpersonally, romantically, yes. But the deeper level is I've never been even this close to my old self because of shame, guilt, judgments, depressions, anxiety, trauma. But now he feels as intimate to Hori as he is to himself, based on all my analysis earlier. What a final closure episode this is. I'm feeling a lot of feels. This is amazing.
回線をなくすこと、本当はすごく怖かった。
Yep, even with himself,
怖かったんだ
especially
よ。
with himself.
堀さん。
But you did it.
なんて知らなかったよ。
Mm-hmm. And freedom, emotional
君も
freedom.
知らなかったと思うけど、自分を周りに見せることへの恐怖とか。
Mm-hmm. All of us are afraid of being unconditionally ourselves until we experience unconditional love. Then we realize and recognize that there's no greater feeling than just being 100% as authentically as we can around those we appreciate and love. That feeling that comes with this gratifying feeling that comes with being one with ourselves and others, authentically, without shame and judgments. is such a full, wholesome feeling.
俺は君に何かをしてあげられたかな。
Just by
君
being
を
you,
笑顔にしてあげられたかな。
you already are making her smile.
俺が思ってるよりも君は強くて、俺が感じているよりも君は儚くて
Wow, deep.
割れやすくて、そんな君だからこんなに明るい日常が
Wow. Oh, poetic AF.
俺以外の人間なんて知らなかったよ。こんな世界知らなかったよ。
This is amazing.
俺の日常を壊してくれてありがとう。俺とこれからを望んでくれてありがとう。
Oh. So many feels.
いるかな。
Just be yourself. Just be yourself.
早く宮村
Oh.
ああ、春の空は見たこともないほど青くて、せめてこの大空を君一人にあげられたらな、なんて。
Hori likes a cake with lots of whipped cream on top, and you, Izumi, bringing out your consensual violent side. Nothing Hori likes more than these two, right? And a couple of things, I don't want to add too much. There's such a poetic end. You're so fragile, you're so delicate, but you're also stronger than you think you are. That speaks to the beauty and the multifaceted nature of all of us. All of us have strength that surprise even ourselves. All of us do not always give ourselves enough credit because all of us are stronger than we think we are. All of us are more amazing and wonderful than we think we are at times. At the same time, all of us have fragile moments. All of us have our weak moments. All of us, we have our moments that we do not feel like ourselves. Sure, we can all wait for that one person, like Hori to Izumi, that shatter his old reality by shedding light on his new reality of renewal and hope. But all of us can do that for ourselves too. We all have the capacity and the ability to shatter our own realities that no longer serve us by reminding ourselves that we are worthy, we matter, we deserve to be loved. And why don't we start by loving ourselves a little bit more, by being a little bit kinder, a little bit nicer to ourselves, a little bit more grace and gentleness. And hopefully through that process, by putting the work, doing the work, reconnecting with our lost, disconnected selves, we will meet through happenstance, through the power and the beauty of serendipity, people like Toru, Shindo, and Hori, who also accept us and love us for who we are. That's spring. And last thing I'll say is Izumi does not need to do anything for Hori. He does not need to gift Hori with the gift of sky, but rather he can just be himself. Just be there for one another. That's the best thing we can gift those that we love, is the gift of our presence, our mindfulness, our attentiveness. Because it's the quality time that ultimately matters the most. Oh. All the photos. Oh, old Izumi with glasses and long hair. The beginning stage of Izumi and Hori's relationship. Oh. Izumi and Hori hanging out at her house while she's cooking dinner. Oh, is that first time they held hands? Sheesh. Or just every day? Aw, Izumi bringing Hori her sweater. Some sort of a school festival? Tutu. They're being in one with each other, being at home, emotional home, physical comfort, safety. Wow, 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 wow. Well, enough said. Appreciate you guys for embarking on this journey of such a wholesome, heartfelt, heart-tingling, warming show like Horimiya. Amazing, amazing, amazing show. You know, if yapping for today, we are going through the votes for the new Yapper series, so we'll see what show comes on top. So far, it's between my bunny senpai and 86, so we shall see. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to the Yappers who voted for this show. Now that's obviously available to everyone watching. And I hope you really think about the miracle, the highly improbable odds of us being born. Yet, here we are, all of us. So let's not give up. Let's wait for the next happenstance, the next decision, next thing that will dramatically change the outcome of our life and the directions of our life. As long as we do not give up and we love ourselves just a little bit more every single day. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a great ride. You matter. You're worthy. Everyone's awesome. Till next time. Peace.